सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। दुर्जनः सज्जनो भूयात् सज्जनः शान्तिमाप्नुयात् शान्तः मुच्येत बन्धेभ्यो मुक्तश्चान्यान् विमोचयेत्। हरिः ॐ। Shanti. Now, yesterday I was trying to provide some help to understand Indian philosophical systems. So now, if you can summarize that, so Bharatiya darshana you have astika and nastika. Now astika you have Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Purva, Mimamsa, Uttara, Mimamsa, Charvaka, Jaina and Buddha. Broadly, these are the systems of Indian philosophy. First, we made a distinction why Astika and why Nastika. Because these philosophical systems accept the authority of the Vedas. And these systems question the authority of the Vedas. This is the first distinction. So Bharatiya Darshana can be studied in two groups. So all that is said in the Vedic tradition is not acceptable to them. They question, they challenge. But they also have an alternative viewpoint, alternative framework of life, philosophy of life. So they also present their views. Therefore, they are also philosophical systems. Now, roughly I am characterizing this for your I am creating some interest in reading these systems, because all do not have the background, and by listening once or twice perhaps, it may not take you to the depth of those systems. So some special contributions or a special focus of these systems, I will point out. Now, Sankhya is interested in providing you the explanation of evolution of the universe, how the whole universe has evolved. So, there is a model now provided by Sankhya model. We can call it Sankhya model of understanding the evolution of the universe. Now, the first day I pointed out that we can group the universe into Chetana and Achetana. Okay? This system provides you a similar dichotomy called Purusha and Prakriti. So, Purusha and Prakriti, this model, Purusha and Prakriti, Purusha and Prakriti, this is the model. Purusha is Chetana and the rest is Achetana, Jada. So, this universe consists of Chetana and Jada. And then how it has evolved, they have given. They have a particular position that we cannot discuss all this now, because then that itself will take 1 week. I am just guiding you just to see. You will now go and read this. So, they have presented the analysis of the evolution of the universe in certain terms. They start with this division, and then from Prakriti they derive all modifications, all that, up to whatever is along with us. This is what is happening, how it is happening, etc. They have their own logic and give it. So, this is Sankhya is, and the influence that the Sankhya has left on Indian thought is very deep. You will see that Vedantians also have accepted this model. Many Vedanta schools have adopted this model. Not only Vedanta schools, you will find that the Ayurveda also has based his analysis on the basis of Sankhya analysis of evolution of the universe, etc. So, that is the main feature, main contribution of Sankhya to explain how the whole world has been evolved in terms of a basic set of entities. So, naturally, this is system, pluralistic system. The one cannot be converted into this, the this cannot be converted into this. Distinct. Chetana cannot become Jada, Jada cannot become Chetana. This kind of position they have taken. Yoga.
Sir, any authority on Sankhya, which is a beginner but
I would advise all of you to read a book by D.M. Datta. Datta, 6 Ways of Knowing. 6 ways of knowing. So 6 means these are the 6 systems. So each one how understand. So actually every philosopher is trying to understand. And they have formulated certain model. In that model, through that model, they are trying to understand this universe. Every system is doing that. So 6 ways of knowing. This book is very lucid and very nice, authentic, because the man knew Sanskrit very well. That is my taste of authenticity. Yoga, you will approach understanding yoga from this point of view, that it is an inquiry into the inner world. We have one inner world and we have an outer world. Antara Vishwa and Bahya Vishwa. Why he wants to inquire into inner world? Because he wants to bring about transformation in man. So to analyze the inner world of, so this is a psychological analysis. You can say Indian psychology. So it's an inquiry into inner world of a jiva. Why? Because then he will make some proposals, he will give some suggestions. You do this, do this, do this, then you are going to be transformed. So you have Ashtanga Yoga, you know. So these are the methods. He will be suggesting or recommending for bringing about transformations. So I would like you to look at this system from this point of view. That is an Indian psychology. It aims at studying the inner world of human being and counseling, providing a counseling so that the man can improve, man can get transformed from a lower state to the higher state, and ultimately he will go to the upper state. So inner journey, so it's a roadmap of inner journey of man. This is the vital, which needs to be inquired into from this perspective. Nyaya, next system is Nyaya system, is primarily a system which provides you methods of theorizing. It's a highly scientific discipline. Methods of analyzing human thoughts and providing techniques of theorization. So you can say this system is a tool provider to human beings. The tools you need for thinking, for analyzing, for coming to a conclusion. Okay? So human thoughts are to be analyzed. Because only through analyzing human thoughts I can start understanding human being. I cannot enter into you. So what is the best method to know inside you? When you speak, when you verbalize, the Naiyayikas think that you are verbalizing your thought. So language is, a sentence is a verbalized thought. So if I analyze a sentence, in fact, what I am doing is I am analyzing a thought. And then I can understand what is going on inside you. the yoga system had developed very, very high level of techniques, even to enter into you. Not necessarily through language analysis. Even without language analysis, they had, I mean, they are talking about such things, that they can enter into you. Parakaya pravesha. So, I mean, we can simply read and understand. We cannot understand it fully, its implications, because we have to go through that. So, anyway, but you can see that they're trying to know the inner world. So, I can know my inner world, but I should also know your inner world, because I am also a human being, you are also a human being, the way you are thinking, the way I am thinking. So, I should know something about that also, no? So, there should be some techniques even to know what is going on inside you. No, but directly, of course, I do not have any access. But through yogic practices, you can transform, and then it can enter into you. For example, now you cannot see the particles, for example, with your bare eyes, but through machine you can see. But the yogis claim that whatever is, so that is that which is not within the reach of your sense organ is called atindriya. Atindriya. Beyond the range of your normal range of your sense organ. So even atindriya yogins can see by yogic practices. So you have to transform yourself to achieve such a height that you can enter into others' mind, others' body. These are the statements in the Yoga Sutra. They are all mentioned there. So, I mean, the details you will look into them. Nyaya, however, Nyaya ultimately suggests that I am providing you a method which can be used by one and all. Here only those who will be practicing yogic methods will be elevated to a level. They alone can use those methods. But normal human beings cannot use all those methods. But the Nyaya provides you the methods which any human being can use. What is that? Any human being can hear language. Human beings are speaking. Speaking means what? Reporting his thoughts, encoding his thought and sending it to me. So if I analyze that, I will get at the thoughts of the speaker. That can be done by anybody. For that, no yogic practice is necessary. So in that way, this is very, what should I say, secular. Word is very badly used nowadays, but in a not political. I am talking just literal sense. Is anybody and everybody can use this method. So language analysis, analyzing language, and language captures what? Thought. Thought of one, of the speaker. Speaker gets thought when there is an experience. Experience of what? Of the world. So if I analyze language, I can analyze the world. This is the method. So logic, reasoning, analysis, all these are the contributions of these systems. These are the tools developed by the Nyaya system to be used by one and all. So they developed the systems of logic, and all systems are using it. Some may make some modifications here and there, but primarily this has come from this system. So you will be looking towards Nyaya as a logical system of logic. The word Nyaya nowadays in modern language is, contemporary term is called justice. It is not used in this sense. It is used in the sense of logic. Logic. For justice, the word is dharma. Dharma Shastra. So, next is Vaisheshika. You see, here is the person. He wanted to, the physicists try to understand the universe through laboratory. Physical laboratory you have. These philosophers tried to categorize the entire universe by analyzing language. You see, so these people also are trying to understand the universe. But what is the method adopted by them? Language analysis. So therefore, I always say that it is linguistic modeling of the universe. For you, Sushma, I will recommend for Nyaya and Vaisheshika, there is an introductory text called Tarka Sangraha. I keep on organizing such programs here and there. Next month it will be in Gujarat, in Hindi. So those who are interested may come and join. 15 days program of Tarka Sangraha. Tarka Sangraha is a primary text of introductory text to introduce a learner into this system, Nyaya Vaisheshika system. They are very close to each other, you can see. So in course of time, these two became one. History, when you will see, they were separate before. So we were counting 1, 2, 3, 4. But after 10th century AD, after 6th, 7th century AD, as a matter of fact, these two started to merge, and then it became Nyaya Vaisheshika system of philosophy. Because they share very many common world views, and therefore they go hand in hand. So Tarka Sangraha, and again the DVDs are available wherever I have given the program. Even last month, I think, or 2 months before, in Bangalore, I have taught it. And what is available already from Chinmaya International Foundation. You can procure DVDs from, you can go to this site. This site, and then you can find out. Next is Purva Mimamsa. Now, Purva Mimamsa, the emergence of Purva Mimamsa was in a context. Again, context of ritual. Vedic ritual yesterday I was telling you. That ritual is a text-based ritual. So as the Vedic text will tell you, so you will have to perform. So to understand the performance and perform, it was necessary to understand the Vedic texts. But maybe over a period of time and vastness of the country, there were different opinions about the meanings of the Vedic texts. Not only that, there was a rational inquiry into the exact meaning of the Vedic texts. So we needed some system, some science of sentence interpretation. How to interpret language? That science is this system. So I would like you to look at the system It is a philosophical system. All are philosophical system because all talk about ultimate goal of human life. But what is important today, how we can easily get connected with this knowledge domains that is why I am pointing out. So here is a system which is primarily a science of sentence interpretation. Madam Jha is an authority in this. That is a special area. Now in court of law, what is required? A lawyer pleads your case. First he should get convinced what should be the conclusion. Then he will go to the court and convince the judge. Then the opponent may point out, no, this is not the meaning of this statement that he has made. So the judge has to decide what should be the meaning of the statement. So you need interpretation. Is that so? How relevant these systems are that I am pointing out. Now, a lawyer, what does he do actually primarily? He just think of. He gets convinced and he has to convince others. Convincing yourself, the Nyaya has already provided a method, and that is called Swarthanumana. For convincing others, Pararthanumana. Alright? So you can convince judge, and judge will deliver the justice. When suppose someone says, no, this is not the meaning, that should be the meaning. If some contains the interpretation, then logic is not enough. It is not the area of logic which can derive this. Here you need a distinct science which can interpret language. So how to interpret language? For that, the Indian tradition developed an independent science of interpretation.
The physical phenomena and all that, right? So far, is this right? Am I understanding it correct? So it is more on understanding people because they are talking and I need to understand what actually they might mean. But they haven't gone into the research of the physical phenomena. So
physical phenomena?
Yes, of the universe. It's theory, philosophy, but not...
They were not using any instrument as such. The whole laboratory was this.
No, these are philosophical systems. No?
These are philosophical systems. So they don't need, let us say, a data you want. Let us say you want a data, for example, to write grammar. What will you do? You will collect huge number of sentences. Analyze. Now, for example, to understand what is knowledge, what will you do? No. Is machine going to help? To what extent it is going to help? The question is how to know. And the given medium is language. So even if I do not know, if you tell, I will know. Not only that, whenever you speak, you are informing what you know. And you know of something, no, of the world. So that world I will reach by analyzing language. That is why language is so important. Language becomes that important because of this. Was this in your mind or you had some other question in your mind? Let her explain what was in her mind.
Somewhere later.
Nature comes as a content of thought of human being.
Okay.
What is nature? Is the world. So Prakriti and Purusha constitute the whole world.
Yeah.
Here the physical element also is there and non-physical element also is there. So when I know, if I want to know non-physical one, he is not excluded from this. So he is dealing with this. So when I know him, Through him, I also know this.
Yeah.
This is how the whole thing is there. That is why I say there was no laboratory just to focus only on the physical aspect of it, because no instrument was being used. Okay. So, Purva Mimamsa therefore is a science of sentence interpretation. Uttara Mimamsa also is a philosophical system which has come into being through the interpretation of sentence. Here the context was the ritual context. In a ritual context, the meaning of an expression was not clear or not accepted by one and all, let us say. Or there was a contest. This did not mean this should mean this. So, why should it not mean that, it should mean this? That resolution was made by developing the system of Purva Mimamsa. Okay? Uttara Mimamsa comes into being by interpreting Upanishadic sentences, philosophical sentences. This Mimamsa is given another name called Vedanta. Now you can tell me, why is it called Vedanta? No, it's not clear. Let us make it clear.
The last part of Vedanta.
You are a student of Sanskrit. Yesterday we got acquainted with the Vedic literature, and we got exposed to the genres of Vedic literature. Where we started from?
Samhita.
Sanghita. Next we came to
Brahmana.
Brahmana. Then we came to
Aranyaka.
Aranyaka. Then we came to,
Upanishad.
that is the final part, Anta, the end part of Veda. Vedanta Sandhi Vicheda. Dikshit ji.
Veda.
Veda Anta.
Samas.
समास
मैं समास नहीं पूछ रहा हूँ.
Veda.
वेद नहीं, वेद
वेद अंत
हाँ
वेद अंत
अंत. So the last anta, the last one, the final genre
yes
of the Vedic literature is what? Upanishad. So by interpreting the Upanishadic sentences, so I said only the context differed. This came into being in the context of sentences related to ritual, but they did solve the problem they were facing, but they did not stop there. They developed a science. Here, these people are trying to develop philosophical systems by interpreting Upanishads. And what is the status of Upanishad yesterday? We have been doing in last 2 days. The philosophical thoughts which emerged in the Vedic Sanghita period, they are getting concretized, expanded, fully flourished in the Upanishadic period. These sentences are the base for Vedanta. Is it clear? Now, look, is Vedanta only one? Then why should the Upanishads are the same Upanishads? But the Vedantas are different. How did it happen?
different interpretation
So the same text, same Upanishads are being interpreted in a different tool has been already provided, you see. Tool has been developed how to interpret, and these tools are being used by these philosophers in interpreting Upanishadic sentences. So even if it's the same sentence, but I say this is Shankara's view. Oh, the same sentence is being quoted by Madhva. Madhva says, no, this is this. How does it happen? How can it happen? It happens because there is a scope for interpreting the same sentence differently. How do you interpret them differently? I provided you the help yesterday. The presuppositions, the worldviews are the parameters along which you will be interpreting the same Upanishads differently. Therefore, the same Upanishad is the authority for Shankara, the same Upanishad is the authority for Madhva, for Ramanuja, from Vallabha, from all the Vedantins. Is it not exciting area? Why? Because all of them say they are Vedantins. Why? All of them say that this is Astika Darshana. So they have to accept the authority of the Veda. Upanishad is Veda. Not only for Shankara, but also for Madhva, also for Ramanuja, also for Nimbarka. Anybody. Therefore, there is a scope for different interpretation. And that difference in interpretation is to be accounted for by identifying the worldview of that particular philosopher. And I provided you some help yesterday because of that. These are the 4 sets of worldviews along which, if you try to understand, you will understand Shankara, you will understand Ramanuja, you will perfectly will understand. You will not mistake. That is why when I hear a sentence and I understand it as per a position that I have taken. So my understanding of a sentence is as my worldview is. And then if I am convinced about my worldview, then I will continue to argue and maintain that what my interpretation is right and your interpretation is wrong. And this is what has happened. So we also talked about Virodha. That Virodha is Saha Anavasthana Virodha. No. But it is only Malla Virodha. You may hold your position, I may hold my position. You convince me, I will accept you. But as long as you are not able to convince me, I cannot accept, you cannot force me to accept what you understand. This has been the texture of our intellectual tradition, philosophical tradition, spiritual tradition. Not that close your eyes and accept. It has never been the case. And I think if education at all is to be given, education must provide this kind of a mind to analyze, to reflect, and then accept. Therefore, Shrotavyaha, Mantavyaha, Nididhyasitavyaha. That is the reason that we have to do like that. Now, Uttaramimamsa, therefore, now, again, further let us try to understand. Vedanta. Now it is Vedanta. So this Vedanta How many types of Vedanta you have seen? Let us say, few again, say, you say, one by one, let us say, Advaita. Or let us mention all of them. Advaita, Vishishta Advaita, Dvaita, 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 next, Shuddha Dvaita, Dvaita, Dvaita is Bheda, Bheda, right? Achintya Bheda, Bheda. This is Ramanuja. This is Madhva, Nimbarka, Nimbarka, Vallabha, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is Ramanuja, Madhva, Madhvacharya. So, I have not mentioned this.
Ramananda doesn't come in.
Ramananda follows Ramanuja. Anything? Vallabha. Vallabha.
Basic Advaita is Shankaracharya or many.
So now we'll go to that. For many, Vedanta means this.
Shabdadvaita.
And here also, Shankara. Only Shankara. But before Shankara, there is Bhartrihari. So Shankara Bhartrihari actually Shuddha Advaita also is Advaita, you can see. Pure monism. Bhartrihari is Shabdadvaita, it's called Shabdadvaita. Shabda Brahma. Anadinidhanam Brahma. Shabda Tattvam Yadaksharam Vivartate Arthabhavena Prakriya Jagatoya. So the Shabda Tattva is the ultimate reality.
So Vivartate means appears as. It doesn't transform as.
Vivartate is now, what is the meaning of Vivartate? So Parinama and no. So Parinama, it takes different form. It takes different form.
So then he will come to Vallabh if it takes a different form. And
It's
it
called very,
appears as different.
very close to that.
So, it may be
Even no, that you see different. That's right. There is a different tradition now. This Bhartihari is Kashmirian. So there is Shivadvaita. So there is one Shivadvaita in Kashmir. So Kashmir Shaivism. Shivadvaita. Shivadvaita is Kashmir. Now in Shivadvaita you have Shiva and Shakti as an ultimate reality. And that Advaita. So Bhartrihari is interpretation will match Kashmir Shaivism.
so Vibha, Parinam, they're both the same.
Same, synonymously used. Now you can see the scenario is now different. So all corrections are to be made. Not all we carry in our mind. Advaita need not mean only Shankara Advaita. Advaita can mean Shiva Advaita. Advaita can mean Shabda Advaita or Bhartrihari. And then Achinta Bheda Veda. So you cannot decide whether it is Dvaita or Advaita. That also is there. So Achintya, it is beyond our capacity to decide that whether it is Dvaita or it is Advaita. So Achintya. This is the philosophy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Why I am doing all this? Narada Bhakti Sutra, no? Except this Advaita, Shankara Advaita, and the other kinds of Advaita, all are Bhakti Vedanta. So, Jnana Marga and Bhakti Marga. Jnana Marga, who proposes? Shankara.
But he also talks about bhakti.
As a tool. For Chitta Shuddhi, etc., it is necessary. So, you have Advaita Vedanta, and you should now classify as Bhakti Vedanta. So, Advaita Vedanta, and in Bhakti Vedanta, Ramanuja, Madhva, Nimbarka, Vallabha, Chaitanya, all are Bhakti Sampradaya. And you can see that if you look at their age, this is a movement, it became a movement in 13th, 14th century, 13th, 14th, 15th century. This is the time when all these philosophers have emerged out of a compelling necessity to go against Shankara.
Shankara
Why?
preceded
Again?
everybody. Shankara preceded everybody.
Shankara is 7th century, 8th century AD. Now you can see in Jnana Marga, the one who will follow Jnana Marga has to prepare. To prepare a spiritual path, the kind of the qualifications which are required to become a Jnani, to take up the path of Jnana Marga for liberation, it was not easily accessible to one and all. Similarly, the karma marga, for example, Purva Mimamsa, not for example, is providing you that karma will lead you to your destination. Which kind of a karma? Nishkama karma. When the philosophical stand was taken, then it came to that only. But to perform that karma, the kind of a qualification you need was not available to one and all. It was this kind of requirement. But everybody needs spiritual upliftment. It is not only the selected few. One and all, everybody requires that. So, how much qualification do you demand to enter into the path of spirituality? This social aspect was being considered. And that created a wave, a movement. And the result of that movement is emergence of these philosophical systems. Now, bhakti does not require any qualification of the kind a jnani requires, or a purva mimamsa karma of purva mimamsa requires. Meticulous. So, you should be equipped with knowledge of the Veda, but that knowledge of the Veda was not available to one and all. That means they should not enter into the path of spirituality. How is it justified? So, in order to break that and create a space